I'm talking with Michael Mathis, who is Transportation Project Manager for the City of Charleston, and it's really good to talk with you because it took a long time, it seems to me, to get to this point where 6117 and Wesley Drive would actually be getting some work done.
Absolutely.
And I know that the City of Charleston has put in a number of projects as well. But I want to talk about this one. Why was this one chosen? Why was 6117 and Wesley Drive chosen?
There are several heavily traversed intersections throughout the city, and this happens to be one of those. You have several major roadways that come together there, and we wanted to do what we could to try to help improve the traffic flow and the pedestrian access in the area.
Now, 61 is a pretty busy highway. Is that a United States highway, or is it a federal highway, or who does it belong to?
It's a South Carolina highway. It belongs to the state.
And 17 as well?
17 is a U.S. highway.
It's a U.S. highway.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's two highways involved in there. And the question always comes up, and I don't know if you want to answer this or how you would answer it, but the question always comes up, why are we working on federal and state highways? And I even asked the Transportation Secretary that question. What's your answer for that?
Well, a lot of times the federal highway system doesn't have enough money to make those improvements, so the local governments have to step up and provide that funding for those projects.
And that's what we're doing in this case.
Exactly.
And the transportation half-cent sales tax, fortunately, came along and is enabling us in this area to make a lot of improvements. And I'm interested in what's going to be happening at Wesley Drive, and what can the people who live in that area and who visit that area, what can they expect?
Well, there's several improvements that are going to be taking place there. One of the improvements is drainage improvements. We hope to improve that by having new curb and gutter as well as new drainage structures. Another thing is pedestrian access. There will be new pedestrian signals at a couple of the intersections in the area, as well as better ADA accessibility. There will be improved access for the West Ashley Greenway as well to help the pedestrians and the bicyclists traverse that. The other thing would be there's some beautification that will be taking place. There will be some pedestrian lighting that will be included in this, as well as additional new sidewalks in the area. And finally, there will be some traffic improvements. There will be a new dedicated left turn lane with a dedicated left turn signal that will help traffic flow from Folly on to Windermere Boulevard.
Michael, tell us what would have happened had this project not come along in that area. Well, over time, what do you think would have taken place there?
Well, over time, eventually the roadway would have had to been resurfaced and fixed anyway. So by doing this, we're helping both traffic flow and pedestrian access in the area.
Now, who takes care of all of this? You know, after we redo or widen or resurface these streets and roadways, somebody has to maintain them. Who's going to do that?
Exactly. The South Carolina Department of Transportation is ultimately the person or the entity that will maintain these roadways. There are some city streets within the area, but mostly it will be DOT roadways, and they will maintain the area once we're done.
I bet when you and the project manager and the mayor of Charleston sat down and said, now we've got all these roads and streets and we got to make a decision here. Was Wesley 61 and 17 always amongst the prominent ones that would get fixed, or was it amongst the lower leveled ones?
Well, as I said before, it's one of the most heavily traversed areas in the city, so it's always been a top priority for us.
Folly Road is in that area as well,
Mm-hmm.
and Folly Road is a well-traveled road, as you know. Will this help with that traffic congestion at all, which is one of the questions that came up during the public meeting that we held on this? Is that going to help Folly Road at all?
It should help the congestion slightly. The dedicated left turn lane will keep the through traffic that is trying to get to 61 and 17. It will keep traffic trying to make that left turn from backing up that through movement. So hopefully it will help congestion somewhat.
There are a good number of businesses in the area as well. I'm thinking about Windermere Shopping Center right now, and I'm just wondering, will they benefit to a large degree from this project?
Well, we hope to encourage more people to walk to the shopping center and bicycle to the shopping center. So with the improvements of the pedestrian signals, the new crosswalks, as well as the new sidewalks, we hope to improve pedestrian access to that shopping center and the other areas.
There are mixed uses in this area. You've got business, you've got residences, and probably other types of establishments as well. Does this change all of that? do you expect one or the other to grow more as a consequence of these improvements, or will things pretty much stay the same?
Well, we don't want things to get out of control, but we hope that it will help improve their business and improve the access to those businesses and help them grow.
You know, that's a good area to do this kind of work, and I'm sure the people over there are really glad to have this project and the improvements that are going to be made. But when we come back, we're going to take a break for just a moment, but when we come back, I want to talk with you about some of the ideas that came up during the public meeting about what the residents thought should happen, as
All right.
opposed to what really is going to take place, and we'll do that in just a moment.